Well, hey everyone, I got the pleasure of introducing Cory Mitchell, CMT, to you all. And Cory's someone that I've known now for about, I don't know, it's been what, a good 8 months, 9 months, something like that. I think from about October or so last year. And Corey's someone that I turn to with my investing for stocks, and Corey's an expert in this stuff. So, Corey, welcome to the call, and just a bit about yourself. How long you've been trading, what do you do, what do you focus on, what don't you focus on, and just a general kind of overview would be great.
Thanks, Rudy. And yeah, thanks for having me on the call. I started trading full time for a living in 2005 and have been doing it since. So going on 16, 17 years now. And I started out day trading stocks. I was actually hired by a firm that just gave me money. That was my only job, was to trade their money and make money with it. So I did that for about 6, 7 years, really enjoyed it. But when I went to trade my own capital, I moved a little more away from the day trading and mostly focused on swing trading stocks. And I still do day trade currencies, but I'd say my primary income is swing trading stocks, and then I make some on the side day trading currencies, and occasionally the day trading some stocks. But the bread and butter of what I make is the swing trading in stocks. So I trade U.S. and Canadian markets.
Okay. And so for those that don't know the difference, what is swing trading as opposed to day trading?
Swing trading, so with my strategies that I use, my typical holding time tends to be about 2 to 3 weeks. So kind of the 20-day mark seems to be about where most of my swing trades fall. So I'm looking for stocks that have high momentum. Usually they've already moved up quite a bit. They might have moved up 50% and then had, a choppy period usually where it's kind of moving sideways. And then I'm looking for another breakout. So I'm usually looking for stocks that have run up already, moved sideways, and have now, they're going to go on another 20, 30, 40% run, sometimes even a bit more, sometimes a little less, just depends on the stock and how quickly they're moving. So that's the swing trading. Day trading is you're in and out within the day, and those trades typically are lasting 10, 15 minutes or so. So a much shorter time frame. You're not concerned about really anything that's going on with the company. It's strictly price movement with the day trading. With swing trading, you're looking at more kind of like a year, 2 years, how the company's been doing. And it's nice because I can do all that research in the evening. So I usually only spend about an hour during the week, kind of setting up my trades for the week, what I'm going to watch. And then it takes about 10 minutes a night to just go through my short little list to see if anything's actually triggering the trade. So it's the swing trading, not very time intensive, which I like, and that's why I gravitate toward it more. Whereas day trading, you have to be watching those charts kind of throughout the day.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's something that I think a lot of, especially new investors that have gotten into the market because of this, COVID period, for them, you've obviously done both. You've done the day trading, you've done the swing trading, you still do them. What would you recommend for people to start with? Would they start with swing trading? Would they just kind of dabble a bit with day trading? What would you recommend?
There's not one market or one trading style that's better than another. I would say go with what you're most interested and passionate about, because if you really want to be day trading, but you're trying to be a swing trader, that passion's not going to be there. And it's going to be harder because basically when we're trading, we need to be better than the bulk of traders. And we don't have to be better than everybody, but there's a big group of traders out there, which we just have to be a little bit quicker than, a little bit smarter. We're trying to get out before the thing tanks. We're trying to get in before it takes off. So it's just, you got to be a tiny bit quicker, tiny bit better strategies than other people. And if you don't have the passion, you're not going to be in that group. It's going to be, because I do this stuff for fun. It's like my evenings are spent just looking at chart, reading trading books. And that's probably what over the last 16 years has given me that edge. It's just, I want to do this no matter what. And so if you want to do it no matter what, you're going to have a way bigger advantage. So that would be my first answer. If I had to pick which one's maybe a little bit easier, I don't know. They're both probably about the same in terms of difficulty. So I don't know if there's no easy way to make money, I guess. As there's a quote that trading's the hardest way to make easy money. So and that pretty much stands up no matter what you're trying to do. So uh, yeah, whichever one someone's most interested in, I'd say start with that.
Yeah, because there'll be a level of interest and passion, which is true. And I think that goes true for any investment. You know, even with real estate, I mean, there's people that love flipping homes and find that really exciting, and people that just love to do buy and hold and couldn't think of anything worse than having to swing a hammer or, you know, kind of look for
Yeah.
constant buyers. So everyone's different, and I think the passion is what fills in the gaps when things are not going well. Because when things are going well, everything's fun. It's when things are miserable that you have to have something to pull you through that. So Cory, what is a CMT?
A CMT is a chartered market technician. So it's a 3 levels of mostly statistical analysis and looking at chart patterns, things like that. And so I did it when I had started with the firm. I'd been there a couple years, and I thought, well, maybe I'll get a designation behind my name. To be honest, it didn't do anything for my trading, because trading is not about knowing everything about the market, which is what some of these programs teach you. They're teaching you everything about technical analysis, or if you're a CFA, everything about fundamental analysis. But the interesting thing is that to be a good trader, you only need one strategy and trade it well and be able to, be aware when it's maybe not doing so well, so you kind of back off, knowing when it's doing well so you can step on the gas a little bit. So it's really just being able to trade one. I trade a couple strategies and I trade them well, and that's really all you need. So the CMT, it's nice to have. It gave me a wide array of knowledge in stocks, currencies, futures, all that. But interestingly, to be for my trading career, it did almost nothing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just kind of a interesting tidbit I like to point out, because a lot of people think I need more and more and more education to
Mm-hmm.
be a good trader, and that's not necessarily true. It's like if you can find one thing that works for you, just keep hammering it away, and that's
Mm-hmm.
how you can become a successful trader.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, because I think, you know, people don't understand the difference between result and activity. And it's kind of like, I'm just going to do all these things, but ultimately you're just trying to make money. I mean, that's the reason unless you just want to trade stocks for fun, but then you can do that in a, in a dummy account.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to make money, and that's honestly some of the stuff that I've learned that's been really helpful for me personally from you, that you've taught me is the importance of sticking to a program and sticking to a strategy. Because you see so many things, but, you know, once you've done something for 16 years, you can hone in on those things. But if, you know, if you're someone starting out, or someone that's been trading, say just swing trading, and now wants to get into day trading, it's a whole different world, and it's a different set of skills, and there might be things that you can share, but, you know, across those, but there's still differences, and you're still learning something again. And I think that's where, you know, I've always told people, even in real estate, that the real issue is in the gap. That's where you lose the most money, is in that knowledge gap, because you assume it's going to be the same. So Cory, for someone that's, you know, and I know that you teach people, I'm going to share a bit about what Cory does as well, outside of just his normal trading, but you know, you teach a lot of people, you help them, you've got your different Facebook groups and your website. What is one tip that you can give people that are starting out? Like, what is one thing that will really help people be successful in any strategy? What's one thing that you could share with them?
I would say pick one thing. It doesn't matter what it is. Pick someone you kind of know out there that you've seen lots of, and focus in on like one method, as opposed to trying to learn 100 different things. So, I have a course out there. There's great books out there. There's a book called How to Make Money in Stocks by Bill O'Neill. I think it's like $20 or something. And, it has just lots of great, strategies in there. And, that's how he trades. I have the way I trade. And so there's lots of books out there, lots of courses out there. Pick something that resonates with you, but focus on it. Don't try to learn everything from everyone. Just, pick a source that you like, and then focus on that strategy and learning it as good as possible. Because most people pick up a strategy, they try it a couple times and they think, oh yeah, I made a bit of money, or no, it didn't work. And that's it. That's all they do with it. They don't really pursue it. Whereas if you pick up a strategy and then you start looking at your chart and saying, okay, I see that entry point. How can I improve on it? How can I improve on the risk I took? How could I maybe make more out of that trade? That's how you really start to get good at a method, is by going through that review process and refining a method, as opposed to just reading it and then, okay, on to the next thing. So focusing in and that review process of improving on it.
Mm-hmm. And what's one thing that you find new traders make a mistake with? Like, what's the one thing that it's like, man, that's what they all do? What's the one thing to look out for?
Related to the same thing, too much information. So they're on one trade, they're applying a MACD indicator. On another one, they're looking at the company's earnings. On another one, they're looking at divergence between indicators or something. So it's all over the map. They have no specialization in what they're doing. They read something and now they're trying to apply it, as opposed to becoming an expert in one thing. So I don't use indicators myself, but you could become an expert in the RSI just by looking at how the RSI or a MACD or any indicator or fundamentals, any specific earnings, price to earnings ratios. You could become an earning expert in any one of those things just by looking at how actual prices move into relation to those ratios or indicators. And you'd be way better off than trying to just be a kind of jack of all trades and trying to use everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same sort of mistake that I see most often in new traders. It's just too much generalization as opposed to becoming an expert in one thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think part of that is because people don't know what they don't know, and it's like, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, and see what sticks, and that ends up costing a lot of money. So Cory, before I jump to your website, just to show people kind of, what some of the things are that you're offering. This is really the question that everyone asks is, why should I listen to you, kind of thing, because you're one of many people. So, I mean, on average, and obviously they're all going to be different, but on average, what kind of percentage return do you target for your trades, and what do you tend to see with your method? I know it's going to vary, but as an overall.
Yeah, everyone's going to be different because people are going to position size a bit different. Some people are going to be more aggressive. Some people are always going to be trying to max out their capital. But for myself, and kind of the methods I talk about in the course, where as things start to get a little more dicey in the market, we fade back a little bit and don't trade as aggressively. And when things are really good, we're trying to be fully invested. So with that type of approach, I, on minimum, try to be at least 3 times what the index is. So if the index is up 10% on the year, kind of my low point that I want to be at is about 30%. And that means I probably traded okay that year, but I didn't trade great. And a better year for me would be about 6 times what the market average is. And some years are going to be better. And it can really depend on a couple trades, because if you happen to get a trade where it goes up 300%, and last year you didn't get one of those, that's going to make a big difference. If all your trades are kind of 30, 40, 50% profits, and you're going to have the losers in there too that are 5 to 10%. So that's my kind of area, is 3 times the average is what I'd consider a slow year for myself. And during the down years, when the index is down, I want to have very little losses or even a small profit, because I will trade on the short side. And so the down years I'm not a big fan of, and we have an approach in the course that talks about getting us out as the market, even as it's turning ugly, we're already backing off. So most of the downside is eliminated. That doesn't mean we don't have losing trades, but I try to keep the drawdowns in the account quite minimal.
Yeah, and so that, guys, I mean, if you're wondering why I work with Cory, that's the reason. I mean, if someone's targeting 30% typically as a low year, that's a very impressive metric, and obviously upside from that. So one of the things I'm excited to share with you is Cory's got a course that he's come up with. It's on his website. I'm going to pop it up here, which is tradethatswing.com. You can click on the site there, and Cory actually has a course. He's got lots and lots of really good information. He's got kind of blogs and different topics. He also has a Facebook page, and I'll link to that in the description as well in the video. But if you click here on Complete Method Stock Swing Trading Course, this will give you a really, really great primer on what Cory's strategy is. So it's $249, but because Cory's a nice guy, he's going to give you a 20% discount. So I'll share that with you. I don't want to kind of put that publicly, but I'll share it with you guys in the email that I send. And so you'll get a discount on it. But honestly, it's worth every cent. And you can go through and add it to the cart. Once you've done that, it'll show up here. And once you've added it to the cart, you can put your coupon here and put that coupon code in there, and that'll give you what you need. So ultimately, the most important part of this is ensuring that you take the time to understand what's being offered, but more than that, to actually take the time to go through it, because this is a really great course. I've been going through it, and it's just quality. It's really well made. It's easy to understand, and it's something that you can go back and forth on it as much as you like. You're not going to end up getting lost in it because someone's talking too quickly or kind of showing you too many things. You can stop it, you can pause it, you can rewind it, and I'd highly encourage you to get this course. Like I said, I'll link to it for you. But I just wanted to recommend it to you because Cory is not just a good guy, but he's also very, very knowledgeable. And I think the most important part of all this is having people that you can trust that give you good, unbiased information. So I'm always looking to work with people like that, that are not just competent, but are also trustworthy. So, not a long one today, guys. Obviously, I want you to get Cory's course and follow him on his website and also on his Facebook page. But it's just to show you that he's someone that I trust, he's someone that I work with, and I've learned so much from him and will continue to learn from him. And I invite you to do the same. So Cory, how can people get in touch with you? Is it through the website? Is that your preferred kind of way?
They can use the contact us page. Everything comes directly to me. Mm-hmm. There's also, if you are in the course, you can ask questions directly below the video. So if anything pops up you don't understand, you can ask it directly below the video. I also have on Facebook, it's just called Swing Trading Group, and Facebook/group Swing Trading 123. There's about we're up to almost 4,000 members now. So there's a huge community of people, and it's a free group. So not everyone's trading my method, but there's lots who are in there. So you can always reach out to me there or just post charts or something if you have questions. So it's, pretty much full access to me and other people who trade these methods. So if you have any questions, you can also contact me on Facebook, Trade That Swing.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Well, Cory, thank you so much for making time. And guys, again, I really encourage you, get the course, look through the website, read the blogs. I mean, there's so much good stuff there, and I've learned a lot, and I'm sure that you will too. So again, Cory, thank you so much, and appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be able to chat again soon.
Sound good. Thanks.
All right.